The DOJ needs to act aggressively because the American people are tired of a two-standard system in justice.
These are actual crimes. Remember, they had to make up crimes to charge Trump.
For years and years and years and years and years and years, Donald Trump has maligned James Comey. I mean, all kinds of his opponents, political opponents, but James Comey especially, which is very strange, as I've talked about in a previous video, that James Comey is almost single-handedly responsible for Donald Trump becoming president in 2017 after the 2016 election. So it's very strange that this is his reward, is being indicted on two absolutely trumped up bullshit Donald Trump counts. Our felon president is now disseminating justice and charging people with felonies. Gotcha. But for years, again, Donald Trump has been doing this. And I want to start this video because I'm going to play some reactions from Republicans who are gleeful about this, who are rubbing their hands and twisting their mustaches like they're some kind of a cartoon villain, just exceedingly excited over this, of what Donald Trump is doing. But I want to start with Donald Trump himself setting the stage for the rest of these bootlicking, lapdog, ass-kissing, brown-nosing Republicans, for they've been given their talking points over the years from Donald Trump. Watch this.
Comey and all this, sleazebags.
Comey lied to everybody.
Brennan. We fired Comey, that fraud.
That phony, crooked Comey.
Comey should hang his head in disgrace. Comey is a dirty cop. Comey is a corrupt person.
One of the best things is firing James Comey's out of there.
He's a leaker. Comey, who's the worst. They lied to Congress many times. Comey and all those guys. Comey lies and leaks. He's a liar and he's a leaker. Is this guy being looked at? But we're going to straighten it out.
A guy like Comey, who's a sick man. I mean, Comey's a sick man. The one person I did a very good thing in firing was the dirty cop Comey. There's something wrong with him. But it's all coming out, and I love to watch it step by step, day by day.
Comey's a liar and a leaker. I did you a great favor when I fired this guy.
So they know what to say. They know how to feel. They've been told how high to jump. As Troy Nell said, if Donald Trump tells us to jump and scratch our head, we just do it. We don't think. Donald Trump's always right. He's the cult leader. He's the dear leader. We must obey. And of all the obsequious, absolutely participating in Republican erotica where they lust, they lather up Donald Trump with praise and who knows what else, Lindsey Graham is among the worst of the worst. He said this yesterday to Sean Hannity about the indictment of James Comey, Donald Trump's chief opponent, apparently.
Senator, for those that didn't get as deep in the weeds as we have, this is profound and deep. And do you agree with me that this is the tip of the iceberg?
Yeah, I hope so. He said he knew there would be a cost standing up to Trump. Everybody who stands up to Trump gets cheered on as a hero. Every accusation against Trump that's bad for him is assumed to be true. The question is there any cost to people trying to destroy President Trump's presidency, his personal life? Is there any cost in this country for lying to a court to push a warrant that is really not accurate?
The question is there any cost to those who try to destroy Donald Trump's presidency? Is there any cost to those who come against and speak against his presidency? Him as a man, him as a scoundrel, him as a fascist. Is there any cost to them? Demands Lindsey Graham. Well, apparently there is a cost because this is a completely different tune than Lindsey Graham has been saying for years. I mean, once Donald Trump became president, he prostrated himself before the dear leader and completely changed his tune and attitude about the things he had previously said. That he's a kook and a religious bigot and that he's not fit to be commander-in-chief. All of these things he said. And if you don't remember, it's a stark contrast from that Lindsey Graham that you just heard to this one.
What is your reaction to hearing what Donald Trump says?
I'm disgusted. Well, I want to talk to the Trump supporters for a minute.
I don't know who you are, and I don't know why you like this guy. I think what you like about him, he appears to be strong when the rest of us are weak. He's a very successful businessman, and he's going to make everything great. He's going to take all the problems of the world and put them in a box and make your life better. That's what he's selling. Here's what you're buying. He's a race-baiting, xenophobic, religious bigot. He doesn't represent my party. He doesn't represent the values that the men and women who wear the uniform are fighting for. That he's a jackass.
Really?
That he's bringing his name down and he's not helping the process, and he shouldn't be Commander-in-Chief. If you want to be Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, you need to understand that John McCain and all like him, not just John, are truly American heroes. So here's what I think. I think Donald Trump is a political car wreck, and people slow down and look at the wreck, but they eventually move on. I'm not going to try to get into the mind of Donald Trump because I don't think there's a whole lot of space there. I think he's a kook. I think he's crazy. I think he's unfit for office. And I'm a Republican, and he's not. He's not a conservative Republican. He's an opportunist. He could shoot somebody on Fifth Avenue, and 25 or 30% of the people would still follow him because he gives a voice to their anger and their frustration. But he's not fit to be President of the United States. And you know how you make America great again? Tell Donald Trump to go to hell.
What do you think Donald Trump has on Lindsey Graham? Lindsey Graham betrayed his loyalty to John McCain, a man he called his best friend, a man who he stood in the well of the United States Senate and gave a tearful address about the death of John McCain and the ravages of brain cancer on his best friend. And then got right in bed with Donald Trump, a man who denigrated his loyal service to his country, his heroic service to his country. Lindsey Graham is a wild piece of shit, an unbelievable, disloyal piece of garbage. He's not the only one that is supportive of all this taking place. It's not always politicians. You got lawyers. You got other members of Congress, but you've got news anchors. God, it's really heavy air quotes. I mean, there should be a disclaimer. Anytime anybody, the word news gets associated with Fox News. And Jesse Waters, among the worst of the worst, here he is explaining that this is just retribution for all of the weaponization that took place before when Democrats indicted politicians and Trump and hundreds of Republican activists. And you can be sure that he's talking about insurrectionists. He's referring to people who committed treason, seditious conspiracy against the country. He's reflecting upon them as Republican activists. And this apparently justifies the indictment of James Comey.
These are actual crimes. Remember, they had to make up crimes to charge Trump. 34 felony counts, charges for a crime that have never been brought before in the history of our country. This isn't revenge, it's accountability. Biden gave Merrick Garland the green light to indict Trump, and they indicted dozens of high-ranking Republican officials and hundreds of Republican activists. They put a lot of people in prison. They censured us. They debanked us. They spied on parents. So this is nothing. So far, the Trump DOJ has indicted 2 Republicans, John Bolton and James Comey. And why would we believe Comey's side of the story? He lied about Russia for years. Now, he's innocent until proven guilty, and he's going to have to make his case in court.
Yeah. Republican activists. They censored us. They debanked us. Us? Were you debanked, Jesse Waters? Were you censored, Jesse Waters? The only censorship that I see here is the government playing a role in taking Jimmy Kimmel off the air and violating his constitutional rights. Not you, dipshit. Mr. Obsessed with men and their genitals and who's masculine and who's not there, tough guy. Fucking clown. Look, again, it's not just infotainment hosts on Fox News. It's also other members of Congress. Paulina Luna, she had this to say, celebrating the indictment of James Comey.
I think that you're right, Laura, and what I will tell you is that the DOJ needs to act aggressively because the American people are tired of a two-standard system in justice. And frankly, what he did largely is responsible for why there is a big political divide in this country, because they operated on a lie. He violated the president's literally civil liberties, and I would even argue on top of that, he leaked classified information. This guy should never be held or able to hold another government job forever for the rest of his life. And I would say that the Department of Justice has everything that they need to bring forward the charges, and they should throw the entire book at him. So that's a 5-year prison sentence, and he deserves every single day of it.
Do they hear themselves? Can she specifically hear herself? The two-tiered system of justice in this country? Donald Trump was only convicted in one particular case. I mean, the civil case with E. Jean Carroll, where he was found to have sexually assaulted her. Yeah, that one too. But as far as the felonies are concerned, in the hush money case or the fraud case, yeah. But what about the documents case where he absconded with national security secrets? Well, what about that? That went away because the two-tiered system of justice allows the president to do away with cases, even ones that implicate him in wild crimes against the country. In any other system of government or justice, Donald Trump would be behind bars for inciting an insurrection against the country. In any other system of justice, he would have been impeached and removed by the Senate in his first impeachment. Certainly the second that dealt with the insurrection. These people are beyond parody. They are dangerous because they're normalizing this. When they all talk about the people who were targeted by Joe Biden. Joe Biden put Merrick Garland, who apparently just loves naps and was asleep at the wheel the whole time, who would appoint Republicans to look into Hunter Biden. So we want to avoid the appearance of bias when there's no bias to be found anywhere. The investigation of the president's son went forward. The case against the president's son went forward while the president was in office. Joe Biden, Hunter Biden. Tell me again how it was all corrupt. It's that Donald Trump was going to face consequence for his criminality, for his crimes against we the people. And Republicans can't have that. The same Republicans who used to call him a kook and a religious bigot and not fit to be commander-in-chief. Those same Republicans are now, oh, the dear leader. We see you, Lindsey Graham. We see you, Paulina Luna. We see you, Jesse Waters. And Jim Trusty, which I'm not even going to get to. So his former lawyer who had a bunch of shit to say too. You can find the clip on CNN. Anyway, I'd love to know what you think about this, but before you let me know, subscribe to this channel on Facebook or like and follow this page on Facebook, Dollemore Daily. I would appreciate it very much. Share this content on Facebook. Make sure you're subscribed on YouTube. We're trying to get to 1.5 million by the end of the year. I think we can do it with your help. I know we can. And if you want to sound off, you can comment below the video or call the voicemail line, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me, as always, daily@dollemore.com. If you want to help support this work, if you appreciate what I do, you can become a patron over on Patreon, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. I would appreciate that very much. Or you can become a channel member right here on YouTube. Click the join button below. Just engagement in general is very important, and I would appreciate it. I'll see you next time. Be genuine. Take care of one another.